As a 30-year-old with a young child, my dad was diagnosed with mesothelioma. When he passed away, 2 years after his diagnosis, the only thing that was left for my mom was a very small life insurance policy. Thank goodness there was that, but that was it. I saw how other people's lives who had planned better were different than my mother's. I had never thought about being a financial advisor, but I had a friend in the business who came to me and said, you can have all the time freedom that you would like, you can provide well for your family, and you can make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else. I immediately went and got my licensing, started with a small firm in town, had some great mentors along the way, and you just continue to grow. You just continue to learn, you tap into other people's knowledge, and you make it your own. Mentors are a fantastic thing in this industry. My first mentor took me to my first MDRT meeting as an aspirant. It was absolutely amazing to be in the room with all these people who were so successful, that had ideas that I had never heard of, that wanted to help me. One night we went to dinner, and I found out that everybody sitting around the table was core to the table or top of the table, and I was not. But nobody treated me any different. Everybody was asking what they could do to help me grow my business, what they could do to help me learn more. People were so kind and so considerate, and nobody made you feel like you didn't belong at the table. It's very motivating when somebody takes time to sit down with you and try to share their knowledge in this business. It has motivated me to become a mentor myself.
I grew up dirt poor, okay? My father was in the military. We had powdered eggs. We had nothing. I mean, when my dad died, we got nothing as a family. And you realize what kind of situation most families are in. And I looked in the mirror. I was single when I got in the business, and I had a child. And I was like, man, if something happened to me, what would happen to my son? And you look at the legacy that you can leave behind and make a difference when you're not around. I wanted to make sure my son was raised properly, or at least have the resources to be raised properly for school and some of those things. Another thing about myself, I didn't go to college. I studied this industry so much, and I found out what areas we can do in this industry to make a difference. Take the excuse away that we always have. I didn't have money. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. And you want to be able to say, okay, how can I succeed in this industry taking care of other people? And that's the one thing. You got to take your eye off yourself. I want to make sure my clients' needs are met. And that's really different in our industry where we have management. They ask us, hey, we need this production. We need this. We need that. You got to say, okay, when I'm with that client, what does the client need? You should be able to sit there and say, hey, have I taken care of my clients' needs for their next generation? Have I taken care of for whatever scenario? If it's a business owner, is that business still going to go on? Or did they have to close the door because the key person's no longer there? If it's a family, do they have to sell their home? Or do their kids have the opportunity to go to college? Mom or dad, whoever's the main breadwinners, are not there anymore. And when you take care of someone else's needs, yours get taken care of. 35 years later, I can tell you my needs are well taken care of and have a lot of great clients that love me. But the thing is, you take care of the client's needs and your needs always get met.
I'm a financial advisor because that's what I decided I was going to do at 11 years old. My father was very active in MDRT a long time before I joined his business. When I registered for my first meeting, he did push me towards volunteering, and specifically volunteering for registration, so that I could meet a whole bunch of people when they came to pick up their badges. My biggest challenge of losing my father has really turned into some key relationships with other MDRT members by them helping me and mentoring me and keeping my motivation high, even in the darkest of times. Here's an example of one case of an MDRT member truly helping me continue in the business after losing my father. There's a fellow MDRT member out of Atlanta, Georgia, and since my father's passing, we've come to have weekly calls on Monday morning at 8 o'clock every week. Over those calls, we talk about a lot of different things, whether it's business or personal. Anything that we come up with, we talk about. But truly having that mentor there, when I no longer had the mentor there in my father, he has kept guiding me and pushing me in the right direction of how to take care of my clients and then run the business the best way I can do it, not necessarily how he would do it.